Merry Christmas everyone! As promised, here is the first of your Festive Pilates videos. A quick workout just in case it's all getting a bit much and you feel the need to engage that core. So, find yourself a mat or a nice comfy bit of floor and get yourself down in our usual starting position, lying on the back, feet planted in the floor, knees bent reaching up towards the ceiling, head nice and straight on the neck. Finding that symmetry through the body and doing your mental body scan from the feet up to the head. Is there anywhere that's feeling a little bit tense today? A little bit out of kilter with the other side? Well, just take this opportunity to rebalance yourself and find that center line. We're bringing the attention to the breath. Thinking about expanding the rib cage sideways as we breathe deep down into the torso. Taking control over that breath, slowing it down, enjoying a moment of peace and quiet. Really exhaling all the way deep down into the lungs, filling up with air and oxygen. And as we exhale, allowing every last bit of air to leave the lungs. Ready and clear for fresh new air to come in. I'll put my hands down to the mat now and start to think about the position of that pelvis. So just gently easing it into movement, rolling that imaginary marble. It's balanced in the centre of your abdomen. We're going to roll it towards the belly button and away from the belly button. So we're flattening the back into the floor and then just increasing that little arch in the back. And we'll take that movement from side to side as well, rolling the marble from one hip bone to the other. And taking that round in a circle, nice big symmetrical circles, rolling the marble all the way around the outside. And we'll come to find our central point here. Hip bones are level, pelvis is nice and level. We're just going to extend one leg overhead while the opposite leg slides down the mat in front. So if we were raising the right arm overhead, we're sliding the left leg down the mat and coming back up to the centre position. It's a nice gentle way to start, thinking about keeping the torso and the pelvis exactly solid and still where they are, even while the arm and the leg are moving through their whole range of motion into that long straight line. Keep that breath going, still thinking about allowing the rib cage to move out sideways and close back together, and keeping the neck nice and free, no tension in the chin or the jaw, but instead putting all of that work into the abdominal muscles. And now we're just going to let one knee fall out to the side instead. So opening that leg out to the side and closing it back up again. And then taking it to the other leg. Being really careful here to keep the hip bones level, not to give in to the temptation to roll to either side. Now we've recorded this without any equipment, but if you have gone ahead and bought yourself a Pilates ball, then feel free to pop it in underneath your pelvis here and up that challenge. If you don't have your ball and you still want to make it a little more challenging, you can go into that double leg knee fold that we've done where both knees will open out sideways towards the mat and close back up together. If you want to go ahead and add the arms in, then that is also fine. You would float your arms up towards the ceiling and open out the opposite arm at the same time as the leg. We're going to turn up those abdominal muscles in just a moment. We're going to take the leg up now into tabletop position. The shin is parallel with the ceiling and it closes back down to the floor. Taking it to the other leg instead. Still taking care to keep that pelvis solid and still. Using this opportunity to really bring your focus down from all the loads of lovely things that are going on over the festive period and just concentrate on one small thing, which is engaging that core, keeping that pelvis solid and still, and letting your mind detach from everything else and just concentrate on this instead. You can still be on your ball for this one. If you have a ball at home, you can also float your arms up towards the ceiling if you want a little bit more of a challenge. And this time we're going to really engage those abdominal muscles and join the second leg so that we come up into a double leg tabletop. So we'll have one leg float off just as we have done. Engage those abdominal muscles and join it with the second leg. One comes down and then the other. Making sure we start with a different leg each time. We don't want to be wonky. So we really need to concentrate on the point when that second leg is going to come off the mat. That's when the hips are going to want to rock. We're taking it now into some toe taps, so just bringing that toe down to touch the mat and coming back up to tabletop. Good work everyone, let's draw the knees into the chest and hug them in. A little stretch out into the lower back in the hips. Good start. Right, back down we go, feet to the mat. We're going into some bridge sequences now. So we're going to start off just by rolling that marble towards the belly button, peeling the spine off the mat, coming up into that long line from the knees to the shoulders, coming back down in reverse, allowing the spine to roll back down through the floor. So we breathe in to prepare. We breathe out to roll that marble, peel the spine off the floor. We breathe in at the top and we breathe out to come back down again. Finding that neutral spine position when we get to the bottom, ready to then breathe in to prepare, breathe out to roll up. And one more time here, breathing in to prepare. Breathing out to roll up into that bridge position, getting a good strong position of the pelvis. We're going to take pulses in the hips here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And rolling back down through the spine, remembering we don't want to let that bottom start sinking down while we pulse. Let's just draw the knees into the chest. We'll take it easy on those glutes today. Getting ready to go back into your bridge, feet planted on the floor, rolling that marble towards the belly button, peeling the spine up, coming up into that long bridge position. From here we're going to pulse the knees. Knees are squeezing in together and back out. 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and a 2 and a 1, and rolling back down through the spine. Next time you do the video, if you've got your Pilates ball, remember you can always pop that between your knees and squeeze it there. Breathing in to prepare, breathing out to roll up into that long bridge position, keeping the bottom high. We're extending one leg and down to the other leg, and down it comes. Not letting that bottom sink down towards the mat. It's very tempting. We want to keep it up high, keep that long line. Good, we've got one more on each side. Keep engaging those glutes. They should be working really hard now. Last one comes down and controlling on the way back down. Really peeling the spine back down to the mat. Good work. Knees come back in. Let's stretch out that lower back and those glutes. And we're going to go over onto side lying now. So bringing yourself over to lie on your side on the mat, we're lining up the heels, the bottom, the back of the shoulders and the back of the neck. We're lifting up through the waist so that we're not just sunk down into the floor, but instead we're keeping a nice straight spine. From here, we're going to open one knee up towards the ceiling into that oyster. If you've got a mini band, feel free to pop it on your knees and make this a bit harder. If not, we can just use that feeling of resistance within the body. Feeling as if you're squeezing that knee up through a treacle. Really controlling it on the way back down as well, so we're not letting gravity take over. We're just squeezing that knee, resisting against our own movement. Only going as far as we can before the hips start to move, so just being careful not to have any sideways movement on the pelvis here, feeling as if you're up against the wall and not going anywhere. And that was the last one there, so we're now going to swing the legs forward slightly, so it's as if we're sat in a chair. We've got a right angle at the pelvis and a right angle at the knee. We're going to extend the top leg away so it's in a straight line with your spine. It's going to do a little lift to the side, and then it's going to swing forwards to about hip level and back down again. We're lifting and lowering, and forwards and back, and again lifts and lowers, and forwards and back, really working to keep that pelvis solid and still. We only move the leg as far as we can while maintaining that position in the pelvis. And we're nearly there, so really keeping the use of those abdominal muscles to scoop that leg forwards. Abdominal muscles are strong. Glutes are working really hard. We're almost there. Good work, everybody. Now we're sending that leg away again in a straight line with the spine. We're taking circles, small circles with the foot. We've got 8 one way. Trying to keep them as circular as we possibly can. Nearly there, and changing direction. Circling round the other way. Keeping those circles nice and round. And last one there, well done. Let's bring that knee in towards the chest and hug it in just to release those glutes out. Good job. Right, over we go into 4-point kneeling. So we're coming around to kneel on the hands and the knees. We're lining ourselves up so that we've got the shoulders directly over the wrists and we've got the hips directly over the knees. Once we're there, we're going to step out into a plank. So we're keeping the bottom down nice and low, straight line from the head right down to the feet. So we're holding it here for just a few more seconds, really switching on those abdominal muscles, pushing out through the shoulders, nearly there. And down comes one knee, down comes the other, back down to that kneeling position. We're going to go for it again, so just stretch out those shoulders a little. We're stretching out one foot, followed by the other. Nice long plank. Check the position of your pelvis. Make sure the bottom's not up in the air, but that we're in a nice long straight line. Pulling out through the shoulders, not sinking down. We're nearly there. Knees come in, one and then the other. Good job, everybody. We're going to go back up into plank. You can either hold it again, or this time you can extend one leg just a little way off the floor behind you. So we're extending legs. Off they come, just a little lift out behind. We've got 4 more, and 3, and a 2, and 1. Good work. Knees come in. Lovely job. Let's sit back onto the heels into child's pose. Nice breath here. We're going to take the arms over to one side so that we've gone round into a sort of diagonal, stretching out through the side of the body and the side of the back as well. And let's walk the hands around to the other way now, so we're stretching out on the other diagonal as well. Nice breath into the back. We're coming down now to lie on our fronts. So prone position, nice straight line, lining up the body, hands are about level with the ears. We're going to take some baby cobras first of all, so once you're ready, we're just going to zoom the head out from the mat. Just lift the upper part of the body slightly off, and then lower yourself gently back down again. Now coming up now into your baby cobra again. This time we're just going to engage those back muscles and see if we can lift the hands slightly off the floor. Quick paddle with the hands, one at a time, and back down we go. And this time we're just lifting the legs. They're long and straight. They're coming out in a straight line behind, just lifting slightly off the mat. 4, and 3, and a 2, and a 1. Good. Coming back to that baby cobra. We're just zooming the head out from the mat slightly, pushing up and then extending the arms so we come up into that full cobra, extending through the back and stretching out through the front of the body. And again, we start off with the head, we start off with the upper back, and then we push up into the rest of the spine. Enjoying that opening through the front of the body and that stretch through the back. We've just got one more cobra here, zooming out the head into the top of the spine and pushing all the way up. And a nice gentle lower back down. This time we're going to go up just into that baby cobra, just a little one first of all. Shoulder blades slide down the back and we extend one arm out in front and bring it back in. Then we take the other arm out instead. Just going from one to the other. Extending it out nice and long, really using those muscles in the upper back and the shoulder blades to control that movement of the arm. And back down to the mat. Good job. So we've got to get those glutes going on the other side as well. We don't want to be lopsided for Christmas, so lying yourself down the other way this time. Lining yourself up into a nice straight line, heels, the back of the pelvis, the back of the shoulders. Once you're there, we're going to start with those oysters, squeezing that knee up towards the ceiling, feeling that resistance as if your knees are stuck together by a rubber band. Or if you have one, feel free to pop it on. Making sure that pelvis isn't moving anywhere, but it's staying nice and solid and still. As if there's a wall behind you, there's no rocking forwards and back. Lifting up through the waist so that we're not sinking the spine down into the floor, but we are active and engaged through the whole body. Good, and that's your last one there. So we're going to swing the legs forwards as if we're sat in a chair. So we've got a right angle at the hips and a right angle at the knee. We extend the leg down away in a straight line with the spine. We do a little lift and a lower, and we swing it forwards level with the hips. So we have a lift and a lower, and a forwards and a back. Again, we are only moving as far here as we can without affecting the position of that pelvis. So however far your leg wants to go, well, you can control it, using those abdominal muscles to scoop that leg forwards. Really engaging everything in the core to control the movement of that leg. Now we're nearly there, everyone, so really dig deep. You're going to deserve an extra quality street after you've got your way through this. We're really working those glutes, working those abdominals. And one last one here. Controlling that leg back. It's back in its long straight line and we're taking circles. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And change direction. We're circling the other way now. 4, 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3. Abs are engaged. And 2, and 1. Good job. Hug that knee in towards the chest and release those glutes out. Fantastic work, everyone. Merry Christmas. I hope you've enjoyed a little bit of Pilates during your relaxing Christmas break. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.